Hello, good morning. I just had to put my coffee on the ground. So, hello, 261 subscribers. I am changing plans and I'm making a new series of videos, which will be daily, called Morning Motivation. And I'll be taking my first 15-minute walk of the day, and I will be as the sun rises, I'll be talking to you guys about what's going through my head and how I'll be preparing for the day of animation, and I'll be answering any questions left in the comments. This is a change from my original goal, which was to have very tightly scripted educational content for my subscribers. That is the goal that I would like to attain, but since I'm starting a new job, there's an opportunity that I couldn't pass on, and the family and I quickly hopped in the car and plane, and drove down from Vancouver to Austin, Texas. So we're back in the States again, but enough about my personal circumstances. Let's talk about. I would like to tell you guys where I'm working, but I'm still concerned about that. I think it would be okay because I'm going to be working remote, so it's not like people will be showing up at the studio or whatever. But I still have to think about that. So maybe I'll tell you guys in a future video. But so let's get straight to the topic at hand. I thought I would and this video is going to be 15 minutes. Wow, like I say, I'm so rambly when I'm not scripted, but it's okay. So I hope everybody has their favorite beverage. Cheers to you, artists. Good morning. It's a long day of work. Whether you're a student or a newly hired artist, it's good to wake up and get comfortable and kind of walk around to get the blood pumping through your body and start making good decisions. So I wanted to answer a comment that I saw in my, a comment that I had. I'm gonna leave the person's name anonymous, just for privacy, and also so I can be as helpful as possible, because sometimes advice hurts and you don't want your name tied to it. So I received this message, and I don't have time to reply to messages. I sometimes do, but these series of videos, I'll just answer any messages in a video, which I think is more personal, and I'm better at it that way. So the message was asking about getting a job in the animation industry, and he sent me his reel, which looked very, very impressive. It had Blender animation, which I haven't managed to do anything interesting in Blender yet, so I was very impressed by that. But the question was working remote, and I think he might have been in a different country or state, and travel was difficult or impossible. So he was asking advice on how to get a job. Pre-COVID, that would have been impossible, because working remote was like not a thing. But you're in luck, because our world has changed and working remotely has now become the norm. And especially in the art industry, most people are working remotely. Only technical artists that need to directly interact with the computers and servers and setting things up, they might have to go in and make sure everything's running smoothly. But yeah, for most of us artists, we work at home. But there is an issue that comes up. Like when I worked in Canada, I learned that it would be remotely. So I asked, well, can I stay where I'm at and work remotely to Canada from the U.S. And the recruiter said, no, that's not possible. You'd have to move here. So I was like, all right, just checking. So we all moved down there, and I'm pretty sure that the reason for that is taxes reasons. Like every time you buy something, you have to pay a little bit of taxes. I guess it's called the sales tax. And so it's, I think that's why the governments of different countries want the employees, even if they're remote, to be living there, so that their money is being spent to that government's economy. So that's not the case for all places. I'm sure small studios, that's more of like a freelance basis, they're probably more flexible. I think that the studio that I'm working for now would have been more open to me working from Canada remotely, but we decided to come down here because we were closer to family, and yeah. So hopefully that information is helpful. So just keep applying to different studios and tell them your situation of you have to work remotely and from a different country. But also look around and see if there's a small studio in the country that you live, because any experience in the animation industry and the art industry is good. Just make sure that they're legitimate. Make sure that they're legitimate and that they will pay you. Yeah, and so if you're in a place where there's literally zero animation studios in your country or state, and you can't move, that's another thing, is like sometimes it's worth the investment to pick up and move to another country for like a year or a couple of months just to get that experience. And you could think of it as studying abroad. But so if you're able to do that, that's an option as well. But I wanted to go into another topic, specifically about your reel. I noticed that, sorry about the cars driving by. In the future, I should try to find a side road or something. I hope the noise isn't too bad. Oh, here's a smaller street. I think this is kind of a highway a little bit. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. So, about reels. Your reel is really cool. Something that's very impressive is the fact that, from what I can tell, you're doing modeling, rigging, and animation all in the same reel, which is really cool that you're learning all those skills. And the industry calls that a generalist. They know a little bit of everything, and that's very valuable to smaller studios. But my advice to getting a job as soon as possible is pick one discipline that you like the most. All right, this street has no cars on it. Awesome. Pick one discipline that you like the most, whether it's the modeling, rigging, or animation. I chose animation, and I was the same way in community college. I was just doing everything. I was doing I was learning everything, and I felt like I wasn't going anywhere. And then when I started my my anim school education, and they had you pick like one track of like animation, rigging, or modeling, and I was like, well, I kind of just want to be an animator. I've kind of always known that, but I thought that all of this was included in that category. It's not. So to get a job fast, pick one principle and tailor your reel around that, and just learn the principles and the tools, and start coming up with short pieces that are like 11 seconds or less, and just focus on acting and body mechanics, so maybe like a dance or a fight or some sort of physical, or a chase or something physical like that. And just keep working on it, and try to find a mentor that you can show your pieces to, so they can give you feedback and direction, and hopefully they're a very honest person that will tell you things that you don't want to hear, like this shot is not working and you need to remove it from your reel. I had a coworker look at my reel and was like, how do you feel about this shot? And I was like, I like it. It's the most latest thing that I've animated, and it's something new that I haven't done before, so I really like it. And he's like, oh, well, you should remove it from your reel. And I removed it from my reel. I mean, it hurt to hear, but I was respectful about it. I was like, okay, I see where you're coming from. So I removed it from my reel, and I got a job immediately. Oh, sorry about that. So it takes honest feedback, and that will make you grow the best. So, a lot of people ask, like, is it possible to be an artist, to be an animator, self-taught? And I have to say, yes, it is possible. The most important thing that you can do is try to be as conscientious as possible, and just have a schedule and a certain set of things to do, and to order your studies. Prioritize the mornings, the first 4 hours. I've mentioned this before in another video. The most productive, and the evenings you'll start doing things that you'll have to fix. You'll ruin the good work that you'll do in the morning if you animate in the evening, and then when you wake up in the morning, you have to fix the stuff you did in the evening. So just cut that out. This is the biggest mistake I've made in my studies. Was I gave it my all, and I completely removed my social life, and I just was like, I'm gonna weekends, evenings, I'm just gonna animate. This is my dream job, which is another thing. There's no such thing as a dream job. A job is a job. You don't want a dream job. A dream job is a lie. I know this is very counter to what people like to say, but it's true. When you see someone that looks like they have a dream job, and you ask them, wait, like, how did you get that job, and why do you like that job so much? They say, well, it's like, oh, yeah, I get to do whatever I want, when I want. My schedule is very open, and I feel like what I'm doing is really giving back to the community and helping people. That's what you hear all the time. And what that is autonomy, and the way you get autonomy is by being a craftsman and being the best at what you do, like the top 1% of what you do. So, and the way to get there is very, very hard work, very disciplined work, very focused work, which is not enjoyable, but you don't work for the enjoyment of yourself, like what can this job do for me, you have to focus on, like if you're an artist, how am I going to entertain people? Like maybe I can have a message in my story that will be meaningful and good for people to hear. So it should be outwardly focused rather than inwardly focused. And so that's what I have to say, because a lot of people, they focus on getting their dream job, they work really hard, and then when they get the job and they are sitting down at the desk for 8 hours, they realize, oh, this is, what time is it? 50 minutes. All right, so I should go right now. So I'm just gonna end with saying, people think, oh, there's my alarm right there. Cool, let me dismiss that. People think, oh, this is gonna be like my dream job, and then when you go to work and it's really, really hard and you're not really enjoying it very much, and there's all these new problems, the thought in your head is like, this isn't the dream job. Maybe this isn't what I've meant. Maybe this is not what I'm meant to do. But it doesn't matter what you're meant to do. That's completely irrelevant. The thing that you need to focus on is delivering something that is rare and valuable. Those are the two most important things. Is it rare, and is it valuable? Because if it's that, then you will become valuable to the studio, and you'll start getting shots that you want to work on because like you're rare and valuable, and you're the only one in the studio that can animate like the way you can. So and then you'll start enjoying your job more because you're giving back and you have autonomy. And anyway, so cheers. Thank you for joining me. Forgive my rambliness, but this is kind of more like how I am. All right, bye. See you tomorrow.